Portugal. I didn't know you was from Portugal.
Yes.
I don't want to mispronounce what part of Portugal can you pronounce?
Figueira da Foz.
Okay.
You
okay.
never would have said that right. You would have been so far off.
Yeah,
I should have we should let them try that. Try and say it one time.
No, I don't.
She just said it right.
I don't want to mess that up. You grew up in a country where soccer is like the number one sport, sport. How did basketball become the thing that you wanted to do out? Because I know everybody around you plays soccer.
Yeah, family thing. My dad played, and then he was my first coach, and I have an older brother and also play basketball. So basically, I started playing when I was 5, 6, dribbling the ball at the house, and I was super lucky. There's not a lot of playgrounds in Portugal, but I literally have one right across from my house. So I spent countless hours there. Sometimes it was nighttime. I couldn't even see the hoop anymore. My mom would have to literally come and like yell my name to come and shower and have dinner. But so yeah, definitely a family thing.
Who was the first female you seen that kind of intrigued you and caught your eye? Was like, man, she dope. I want to be like her.
Well, there was a few Europeans. I mean, obviously, I always watched the Olympics, and then there was these two Brazilians, Magic Paula and Hortensia. They were like out of this world the way they played. And then, I mean, on the American squad, you had Teresa Edwards. That it was somebody that I really looked up to.
Yeah.
You know, but like I said, you couldn't really.
You couldn't really
find it on internet. So it was like
so
the Olympics, you know, you had to wait for the games to come on. And then when I got to the States, you just start being able to do more research. And obviously I went to Old Dominion, so when I got there, everybody was like, everybody say you play like Nancy Lieberman.
Lady Magic.
And I'm like, who the hell is this lady? Everybody talk about Nancy. Who is Nancy? Then I was like, I went to my coach, I was like, can you show me highlights or games of Nancy? Because everybody asking me, comparing me to her, and I don't even know who she is. So when I saw her, I was like, oh, shoot. I got big shoes to fill, right? But I always took it as a compliment. And from day one, since I met Nancy, she was amazing. And she's like my big sis.
Love Nancy.
She coached me with the big three. We won a championship.
Yeah,
Nancy.
That's my big sis. We got that bond from Old Dominion. So, we have a great relationship.
So now you at Old Dominion.
Yeah.
Tell us about the run and playing Shamika Holtzclaw and them in a championship, legendary Pat Summit.
Yeah, man, if I can one game back out of my career, that would be it. I could play it right now. That one still hurts, you know. So we beat Stanford in the semifinals. They were the favorites.
Yeah.
And we were down by 17. We were able to tie it, go to overtime, and we beat like them in overtime. And it was just exhausting, like physically, mentally. And then we have to play Tennessee. They cruised past Notre Dame in the semifinals. And obviously Shamika was everything, right? Same thing. We're down by 17. We're able to tie it, and then I think we just ran out of gas. And, like I said, that game still hurts. 1997 in Cincinnati, Ohio. Yep.
When you heard the WNBA was about to be formed, it was about to be a American Pro Women's League, what was your first thoughts?
I think the first thing I thought was like, I wonder if I can play in it, if I'm good enough to play in it, right? So I think that was kind of the first thing. And then obviously I knew that other leagues tried to make it in the States, but they never really were able to sustain, you know? So, but with this one, you knew that the NBA was behind it.
It was different.
So I remember I was drafted in 98. I remember going to New York. They brought me in because I had to choose between the ABL and the WNBA. So the ABL was at the same time. So I actually could choose between the two. So I went up to New York. I go into the offices. I meet David Stern. He comes in, and I'm with my agent, and he just comes in, and I'm like, dang. And then he leaves, so we have a great conversation. My agent was like, that's big time. Like, he just came to talk to you, you know? So yeah, that was his baby. And I mean, it's basically the main reason why the WNBA is here, because he put a lot of effort into it, and he believed in us, you know? Unfortunately, he's not with us anymore, but he's one of the big reasons why the WNBA is here.
How was it for you when you get drafted and you go, like you say, from that East Coast where you used to, Old Dominion, and you got friends, and you go way cross country to Sacramento, and you get there, you got a good team. You got Ruthie Bolton, you got shout out Chi-Town, Yolanda Griffin, Southside,
Yolanda Griffin.
How was it for you getting out there and being on the West Coast and having to, find your way out that way.
Yeah, so I remember going on a plane and I'm just looking around right before we landed and I'm like, all I see is cornfields.
Yeah,
I'm like, what is this? I thought Sacramento was the capital of California. Like, what is going on? So, but yeah, I mean, they were like not very good the year before, the first year. And like you say, Ruthie was the franchise player. Yo came the following year. So our first year was, it was tough. I don't even remember I think we were 8-22, something like that. We only won 8 games. So you come from a winning program and then you hit the pros and he's like, dang. And you just don't want to get used to it because you never want to get used to losing. But it was tough. It was tough. But also, again, as a new city, but new teammates, new everything. But they really opened their arms and welcomed me. And I just felt right at home. And I loved Sacramento.
Just tell us about this season and just how everything clicked for y'all to win it.
Yeah, it was really about defense. Our coach, he called it the white line defense, and we all bought in. At first, it was like a little weird because sometimes we overhelped, but when everybody was on the same page doing it, we were unstoppable. And I mean, we all say defense wins championships, so for us, it was really true. I mean, until we bought in and really everybody had played a huge role with that championship. But Yo was the MVP, so Shacktown represented. But we were trying to get that championship for a long time.
What gave you the joy of the game when you played the game? It seemed like every time you play, you was just having fun. You was always smiling. You was always into the game. You definitely was focused, but it was a joyful focus.
What's not to love? I'm getting, this is my job. I'm getting paid to play basketball. Something that and to go back to what you said, being from Portugal, from this little town, who would have said that I would have played in the WNBA and, play with all these amazing players and be successful. So, that's all joy, I was really hard on myself and a little bit of a perfectionist. So sometimes when we lost, like I used to be really mad and I kind of had to shift, that mentality. But basketball is joy. I mean, to this day, I don't play anymore, but I'm still like involved, and I just really love to watch basketball. I love to watch sports, but it's just a cool sport and brings so many people together, and then also like from all parts of the world. So I love it.
Where was you, and what was your reaction when you heard you made the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, so I actually was overseas and my phone rang, and it was a weird number, and I usually don't even answer, but I did answer that time, and they were like, they told me that I was going to be a finalist, and then they were going to be voting, and then in a few months they were going to announce the finalists. So again, it's just like the weight trophy, something that you don't expect anything. You played the game the right way. You do what you were supposed to do, and I think all these things happen organically. Yeah. And then when they happen, is a little bit of a pinching moment, like where you have to kind of pinch yourself to see, okay, now I'm in the Hall of Fame, and that's kind of crazy because you never play for that. You play to have fun. You play because you love it, and you play to win. Yeah. And those things happen organically. So obviously it was a day that I remember. I was actually at a game. I was in Spain at a game, and then the phone rang, and I took the call, and I'm like, wow. And then I was like, okay, who should I call first? So I called my parents, and I told them, and they were like, what the hell is that? But yeah, it's cool. I mean, I'm very blessed.